afternoon. This is the Chorus Call conference operator. Welcome, and thank you for joining the Acea first half 2016 results conference call. As a reminder, all participants are in listen-only mode. After the presentation, there will be an opportunity to ask questions. Should anyone need assistance during the conference call, they may signal an operator by pressing star and 0 on their telephone. At this time, I would like to turn the conference over to Mrs. Ira Angrezzani, Institutional Investor Relations Director of Acea. Please go ahead, madam.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for taking part in the conference call for the presentation of the Acea Group first half 2016 results. Alberto Irace, CEO of the company, will now present the results, and then Alberto Irace, Demetrio Mauro, CFO of Acea, and I will be available for a Q&A section. Please, Alberto, go on.
Good afternoon to everybody. The results of the first half 2016 confirm the positive trend already seen in the first 3 months of the year and that are ahead of our expectations. These results mean that we can confirm our earlier EBITDA guidance for 2016 which we expect to be at the upper end of the range we disclosed in the last quarter. I previously announced to you an increase of 4% of EBITDA. Obviously, this target has to be considered not taking into account the positive impact of the regulatory change affecting the electricity distribution business. Once again, I should like to reaffirm our major ongoing commitment on implementation of the project Acea 2.0, which, as I stated already in many occasions, involves a very deep change in the process and a new and a very deep use of a technological solution, as well as organizational and cultural change in the company and the group altogether. The benefit of the efficiency obtained will enable us to achieve the challenging target set in the business plan. We are, at the time being, proceeding in replacing our electricity billing system with an integrated system, and this will help to further eliminate the actual fragmentation. We will be live with this system in the 3rd of October. Let's now move on the result. EBITDA is up by around 26% to 444 million. You will recall that the regulatory change introduced by the authority, Resolution 654/2015, has eliminated the so-called regulatory lag in electricity distribution. This means that the cost linked to the capital expenditure can now be recognized at the same time as the expenditure is carried out and as depreciation begins. This has resulted in the recognition of non-recurring income is approximately 90 million for 2016, including 63 million attributable to the first half and 36 relating to the investments carried out in previous year. After stripping out this component, EBITDA is up 7.7% thanks to the contribution from the water and energy segment, to the steps taken to boost operational efficiency and engineering of operating processes. EBIT is up 35% to 274. Please note the higher depreciation charge as a result of increased capital expenditure and the increase in provision for early retirement and redundancy schemes. Net profit is up approximately 51% to 150 million compared with the first half of 2015. The increase is 9.3% after stripping out the impact of the already mentioned the regulatory change. Net debt, on which I will expand later, amounts to 2,132 million. Slide 3 takes a closer look at EBITDA, which has increased by approximately 26%, thanks above all to the energy and water segment. Around 78% of EBITDA is generated by our regulated business. The group workforce is down to 4,716 units. Giving a closer look to the environment segment, has contributed for 29 million to EBITDA, up 8% on the first 6 months of last year. The improvement reflects positive performance from Acea and Acea, key cost plants, re-entered in operation again on 1st June of this year, after being shut down for almost 18 months. We have invested 8 million in the sector, essentially in the upgrade of line 1 at San Vittore, which is foreseen in entering in operation by the end of the year, by probably November. The energy segment's EBITDA is approximately 25% to 70 million, thanks to an improved margin on sales, totally 52 million. The improvement reflects growth in EBITDA generated by the enhanced protection market sales, thanks to an increase in the sale price. In contrast, EBITDA generated by free market sales is down, reflecting a reduction in the volume of electricity sold, partially offset by an improvement in the margin resulting from the strategy of boosting our presence in the small business and mass market segments. The slight reduction in the EBITDA from production reflects falling energy prices, a small decline in urban heating, and a decline in the volume of energy produced by the group hydroelectric plants. The energy segment invested a total of 27 million, primarily in revamping the Castelmandama power plant. Let's move to the performance of the water business, where EBITDA is up 12%. The improvement reflects the efficiency achieved thanks to the operations and the tariff trends. Yesterday, the Mayor's Conference for the Ato 2 concession approved the tariff determination for the period 16-19. Acea Ato 2 revenues includes recognition of the FNI components for 11.9 million for the first half. That means for the entire period, for the entire 2016 will be 20 million point something. That's to boost the new investment. The tariff increase to be applied in 2016 are to be spread to overtime without any impact on profit or loss. The deferral will be offset by recognition of a financial charge equal approximately to 2.9% as cost. We have invested approximately 100 million in the water business, included investment in the modernization of IT system and the investment of around 84 million in Acea Ato 2. I would like to underline that the approval also included the component regarding quality that was foreseen for already from 16 for 30 million. And for 40 million from 17 and forward. EBITDA for the grid segment is up to 181 million and reflect recognition of the above income linked to the regulatory change introduced by the authority, eliminated the so-called regulatory lag. After stripping out the related impact, the segment EBITDA is down approximately 5%. As provided for in the European Union and Italian legislation and required by the energy industry regulator, from 1st July 16, Acea Distribuzione has changed its name in RAT. Investment in this business amount to 80 million and primarily relates to the RAT investment in expanding and maintaining its electricity grids. The parent company closed the first half with a negative EBITDA of 0.4 million. Slide 7 shows EBIT up 35% and net profit, which has risen by around 51%, again reflecting the impact of the already mentioned regulatory change. which has eliminated the regulatory lag. We have seen a rise in amortization and depreciation linked primarily to increase the CAPEX and an increase in provision from early retirement and redundancy schemes. In contrast, there has been a reduction in bad debt provisions due to an improvement in the management of receivables, reflecting a more selective approach to our customer base. The following slide shows an analysis of cash flow trends in 2016. There was a cash outflow of 121 million in the first half. That is substantially stable compared with the same period of last year, despite the notable increase in investment and increase in dividend, thanks to the rigorous management of working capital, which has declined by approximately 100 million. As noted previously, net debt is 2,132 million, up 121 on the figure for the end of last year to 2015. The group debt is mainly medium to long-term in nature, which an average term to maturity of more than 6.54 years. 72 is in fixed rate at the global average cost of just over 3%. Those are the figures of our first half. We are ready now for Q&A session, and I'm available together with Mr. Demetrio and Irene Grisani to your questions.
We can start with the Q&A section.
Thank you, Madam. Excuse me, this is the Chorus Call conference operator. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touch-tone telephone. To remove yourself from the question queue, please press star and 2. We kindly ask you to use handsets when asking questions. Anyone who has a question may press star and 1 at this time. The first question is from Mr. Javier Suarez of Mediobanca. Please go ahead, sir.
Hi, good afternoon to everyone. This is Javier at Mediobanca. I have 2 or 3 questions. The first one is on the decision on the tariff for Atto 2. What has been decided, if I understand this correctly, is to spread over time the require or the increase in the tariff that was the pure mathematical calculation using the current methodology. So can you please detail us what should be the theoretical increase in the tariff and the real one that is going to be applied, and then how the company has agreed to recover that over time, and which is exactly the financial compensation that the company is going to receive from that delay. And can you clarify that the net present value of all that is 0, and therefore, in principle, there should not be a financial effect on the company? That is the first question. The second question is that if you can kindly update us on any conversation with the new administration in the city of Rome that could affect shareholders. And the third one, if you could please clarify once again your position regarding your potential or eventual interest on AMA. Thank you.
Okay. Let's be clear on the net present value of the spread over the time of the tariff. It's equal to 0. Well, maybe it could be also positive, to be precise. A little bit positive, to be precise, because they are applying a 2.9% of financial cost on the spread. That means they wanted to have zero increase for 2016. So in order to achieve the 0 increase in 2016, they moved the adjustment in 17 and 18 and 19, and applying to that the financial cost. So we will have a 0 increase in 2016, but then we will have an increase of I'll give you an increase of 4.8% in 17, 6% in 18, 5.94% in 19. Just to give you the precise figures of the increase of the tariff. I consider it enough fair because, as you know, we already obtained a 9% plus 9% increase in the past 2 years, 14 and 15. And honestly speaking, applying the increase only in 16, considering that it could be applied only in the end of the year, in the last quarter, would have been something complex to do and arguable, let me say. So I don't think that it is sustainable and it does not affect our working capital more than that. We are talking about 26 million of delay for 1 year. That's it. And let me expand a little bit on the decision of the tariff. I would like to underline that, as we said also in the past, the approval of the tariff by the local authority confirm how much is solid the methodology and the national regulation, which is in the business already settled and well known, and also confirm our approach to boost quality. And I consider it very good news that was approved the component related to quality, starting from 16. As you know, we didn't include any quality award in our business plan from 16, and because we didn't know if it could be approved, and it's a good news for us. And we did not include the maximum amount from 17, but only one part of it in our business plan has been approved at 40 million, which is good news. Also has been approved the component of F&I for 22 million, which is a boost for the CAPEX program, and there's an impact on the EBITDA. So at the end, what we can say is that the decision is confirming the methodology, and is particularly relevant, in my view, that also the municipality of Rome approved that approach in the local authority, which gives let us more to be confident also for the future of our program in the framework of the national regulation, as many other times we had the opportunity to say. About our relationship with the municipality as a shareholder, we started a very positive conversation with the assessor that has responsibility for the budget, Mr. Minenna, and we explained the goal of the company. We shared the business plan, and we started a positive conversation, considering further opportunity in the area of the city of Rome, in particular in the area of the waste treatment, where, as you know, there is a lack of capacity in the city of Rome. I have been already very clear on the fact that we do consider the company ready to invest and to increase our investment in the treatment plant, because we have a track record of success, of beaten target in this field, and we feel comfortable to sustain even higher CAPEX program to fit the needs of the city in terms of capacity of treatment. I don't see opportunity for us in the field of collecting, because, as you know, the company doesn't have that kind of know-how and experience, and I can say that this is not part of our intention for sure. That's, I think, absorb the third question about AMA, because I can say that the perimeter of the activity of the company will be in the field of treatment. And even if we consider any opportunity of collaboration with the AMA company, will be definitely in the part of treatment plan.
And again, because I don't know if I...
We don't catch you. We don't catch you.
Maybe
okay.
You can hear me now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, can you repeat the pace for tariff increases in water that you have agreed for 2017, 18, and 19 is plus 4.8? Yeah.
I can repeat, but please bear well in mind that the increase of what we apply to the final tariff does not apply to the increase of the revenues of the companies, because, as you know, are not aligned. So, but in any case, the increase applicable to the final customer, which is relevant for the cash flow but not relevant for the revenues, is 4.8% 17, 6% 18, 5.9% 19.
And then you have said that the cash effect of that delay is amounts to 26 million euros, right?
For 16 years.
Yeah. And the final point, can you confirm that on your calculation the net present value of that is zero? The net present value effect of that.
I didn't calculate the net present value, but you can do it by yourself because the delay is up to 20, but it's applying 2.9%. It's probably, it depends on how much we will cost to manage it. But
Javier, it's Demetrio. It depends on which rate you use to discount the value. If you use our borrowing cost, our incremental borrowing cost, which is far below the 2.9%, then the net present value is even positive. If you use the WACC, then it's slightly negative.
Okay, many thanks.
You can say zero, just to stay in the middle.
Many thanks.
The next question is from Enrico Bartoli of MainFirst. Please go ahead, sir.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. A few questions on my side. First of all, sorry to insist on the water business, just a clarification. So if I understood well, the delay in the application of the tariffs has no impact on the revenues for 2016. And if I understand well, actually, the results that we saw for the first half take into account of the theoretical increase in the tariffs that will be eventually compensated in terms of cash over the next few years. If you can confirm that. And regarding, you mentioned the quality premiums. If I understood well, we are talking about 30 million for this year and 40 million starting 2017. If you can confirm the figure, and if actually in the revenues we'll already see the 30 million for this year in the second half of the year. Second question is...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. As you like, we can go one by one, or
let's go one by one, so we'll be more clear. No impact on revenues for the delay, for sure. I confirm. It's only a cash effect. The cash effect is the one that I already said. The figures you see in the first half includes all the tariff effect, excluding the quality award. So, because of course the quality award applies only from the 1st of July, that means that the company has the right to achieve the award only if will perform during the second half, so to beat the target settled by the authority. In our guidance, to be more precise, we did not, in our guidance that we confirm, we did not include any effect at this stage from the quality award for the sake of prudence of our figures. So that means that if we will be able to beat the target that they were settled, you could add something coming from the 30 million in terms of revenues that will be considered on top of the figures of the first half that you can double for the second half. For this year, for 16, and you could take into consideration the effect for 17 and 18, basing the quality award on maximum of 40 million. Is it clear?
Okay, yeah, sure. So, if I remember well, in your business plan, you had 24 million euros as assumption for the quality premiums, right?
We had 17 million from 17 and 18, and 24 for 19.
Okay, perfect.
Of course, to be clear, we will have some additional cost to reach the premium, and we will be able to be more clear once that we deploy this quality. So the positive news is that the premium, the quality premium, is applicable from 16, and the maximum is 30 million, but you should consider also the cost to reach it.
Okay.
And I also said that we didn't include any additional revenue and, of course, the EBITDA result coming from the premium in our guidance, the one that we confirmed.
Okay, very, very clear. Then I have a second question regarding the networks business. It's very clear that the 63 million is related to both the recovery of the working process to the past year and for 16. The impact in the first half, if I calculate well, is 27 million related to the 2016. This is a step up that we can assume will continue starting in 17, or should we consider this effect also one-off?
You are talking about the 27 million. Maybe it's better if we will give you the figure of which could be the impact in 17, because in the 63 million there is also the calculation of the amortization coming from 2012 that is completely in the 73, so you can expect in the second half to go up to 90, no more than that, just to give you the magnitude. And the effect in 17 will be something in the round of 20, probably. Between 16 and 20, something in that round. Okay,
perfect. And the last one is related to the energy business. There was a very strong increase in the commercial margins in the first half. Can you elaborate a bit on this, and if this trend is sustainable also over the next quarters?
Yeah, you see, the company is performing better and better. We started to select the customers, and we are maintaining the margin even in a scenario in which the prices are going down. So we can expect to maintain it at least for the second half. That's for sure. Take into account also that we have some extraordinary items in the business of energy for about 10 million. So you should consider also that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
One-off.
The next question is from Mr. Stefano Gambarini of Equita. Please go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. First question still regarding water business, but my curiosity is regarding the trend of results in the first half. In the Lazio Campania, you improved your margins by 18 million euros, while only 11 came from the F&I. But on the other side, you suffered a reduction of the WACC, at least of 10 million euros, and also lower operating costs recognized. So could you help us to understand the improvement, how you was able to to get this improvement, and if we can expect the same for the rest of the year or in 2015. And then the second question regarding the margins in electricity. You said that the protected margin, the protected clients recorded a better performance. Is this the 10 million US one-off you just mentioned? And the last, just if you can remind us, what is the target of EBITDA you have for year-end, excluding or including this 90 million US one-off, as well as the target of net debt you have? Sorry, just one additional question regarding the fact that you had to submit to the regulator by the end of July your program of investments in order to improve the quality of the grids, mainly in the buildings, the old buildings. Could we expect some substantial increase of capex in the electricity distribution due to these new programs that you should have to improve the quality also of the old buildings in Rome?
So let's try to go step by step. First of all, you can expect for the result in Lazio Campania the trend of the increase of EBITDA according to the first half in the second half, because the first component is F&I, that it's worth 11.9 million. You can double it, more or less, because it's considered only for the first half. It's a mathematic, and also you can consider the efficiency that are ongoing. Of course, we already took into account about the allowed remuneration write-off from the beginning of the year. There is also the impact of the consolidated company using the equity method in the result, and of course this is more complex to predict. And going back to the EBITDA guidance, and the question about the guidance, we said last quarter 2 to 4% increase. What we said, 4% means 760 million, more or less. And what I said is I can confirm in the very high end of the range, so 760, and we didn't include in these numbers any effects from the quality award. In other words, we will consider to update the guidance next quarter. The debt, the guidance is between 2,100 and 2,200 million. So in that range we will stay. So you can consider that the net financial position will stay more or less in the same magnitude in which it is at the time being. The capex program is expected to be 500,
460.
460 to be precise. And what about the distribution? We started the discussion and we are elaborating on it. It's a very important program. You cannot expect any news from 16. We are discussing also with the authority because we have to present a plan, but also we have an open discussion with the authority. And what I'm saying is that the target to improve the quality of the distribution network up to the ability of distribute 10 kilowatt-hour for each customers in a period of time that, let me say, in the next 5, 6, 8 years, need some specific measure from the national authority. And what we are saying is that they may consider to introduce also in the distribution regulation some measure already known in the water that increase the cash flow in order to sustain those kind of program. And only if and when those measures will be taken by the authority, we will consider, and of course, to update the business plan, and will be open as usual of information at that time. The one-off of 10 million in the energy business is related to a positive one-off of 10 million. It's related to a credit towards a company, Eric's company, that because of our commercial relationship related to the metering. So we included the figure in our numbers, and also there is a provision of 3 million related to that number.
Many thanks. Just a quick follow-up, sorry, again on quality. In the business plan, you underline that the maximum value of the quality awards could be around 104 million euros in the period 17-20. According to what you just said, this figure is by far higher, 30 million in 16 and then 40 million for the following 3 years.
Well, you see, Stefano, you have to consider that when you talk about the award in revenues, please take into consideration the award is in revenues. You should consider the increase of cost related to the achieving of that performance. So
okay.
What we considered in the business plan is the result of 40 million less, we consider, let me say, 16 million of additional cost to be prudent. So the net is 24 for 19 and 20, and only 17 for 17 and 18.
Okay.
We will be able to be more precise once that we already started to apply the operation to operate in the perspective of beating the target, and we will be able also to estimate in a more precise way which will be the additional cost we have to consider.
Okay, many thanks.
As a reminder, if you wish to register for a question, please press star and 1 on your touch-tone telephone. Once again, to register for a question, please press star and 1 on your telephone. For any further questions, please register by pressing star and 1 on your telephone. There are no questions registered at this time.
Very good. So thank you to everybody.
Thank you for everybody to taking part in our conference. And as usual, the Investor Relations team is available for further information.
Bye to everybody, and thanks for participating to our conference.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. The conference is now over, and you may disconnect your telephones.